I had wanted a Hallback device for my fail, but I was having a hard time finding an original one. Many of them that I looked up in the past sales were going for like $300 and selling pretty quickly. Never was able to get one at the right time, and nobody was selling a reproduction yet. Saw a few people talking about working on them, but nothing was ready for sale. Well, in my searching, I ended up finding some dimensions for the Hallback device, and I decided to try and make my own. This first one, found that piece, 3/4 inch Schedule 40 pipe, was close to the same dimensions. So I bored it out to fit the flash hider, and only bored it to about here so it would stop on the flash hider. Then I cut it in half, heat it up where the flare is, and bent it out. Drilled the holes in the top, drilled the one in the bottom, bent a piece of plate, used some square bar. And this one I just made a simple pin. And a sheet metal clasp. This is just mild steel, but it did kind of work. It's on, like so. And clips on. Holes line up. At the time I was happy with this, but I knew I could do better. So I decided to go through the process, trying to make an accurate looking one. So I had to make some jigs of some scrap steel I had to be able to bend the top and bottom part of the device out of plate steel. So this is what I came up with. This is for forming the bottom part. The top part would be almost the same but not have these cutouts, because that is what forms this flare. It's from the resistance of the flat plate not wanting to bend, that when it gets pushed down into here, this part deforms. And after cutting the pieces to the right size, punch the hole in the center here, and then one for a rivet at the front, which sets the front stop. The top piece also has the holes punched, and then this is milled. This was a little bit of an accident and leftover part. And this is the lever and hinge assembly. The ball welded on. There's a rivet holding the two pieces together. Oh, this one isn't finished yet. I cut off the excess here and then set the rivet after it is fitting the flash hider. For assembly, what I do is take a section of a demilled barrel and a flash hider. Set the two pieces on to ensure that everything lines up. This the bending, and then I clamp on to take barrel assembly off. Clamp these two onto a piece of aluminum that is turned to the same dimension, or not quite the same dimension, slightly larger than the flash hider, so that once these are welded together and the shrinkage occurs, it fits the flash hider. And once they're welded together, then I take the two of them, cut off the stub here, and weld it, and grind it down so that it is smooth for the hinge assembly. Show that a little bit better. There's where it's supposed to line up. Then the ball is going to be pressing against the front of this hole, which then pushes it forward into the rivet that would be here. And then once it's sitting on there nice, I tack on a couple spots the hinge assembly, then take it out, make sure the hinge is working good. This one's still a little stiff. Once it's working good and repeatedly locking up in the right location, then I weld on the hinge. Then mark out the location of this rear block here, and then weld that on. Not on the jig I have, just the location is set, so that's where it needs to be, which is close to the back of the flash hider here. And then I formed the clasp. I don't know if it will focus. This is out of spring steel, so it retains its shape. Clips on there nicely. You can see the rivet at the front of the flash hider there. And to install this, you can go either right hand or left hand, lining up with the holes on the top. You slide it back until it hits the rivet, then you rotate the lever up, and should feel it fit in, and then just push the clasp. I did make a few of these. Did this project because I wanted it for myself, but figured since I was set up and made all the dies and got the other tooling ready to go, I'd make a few more. So if you are interested in one of these, send me a message, and it's $120 shipped. So if you want one, let me know.